I'm gonna preface this video by saying they probably don't hate Overwatch, but they're really finding it hard to like, because at the minute, the game's in a bit of a weird state of trying to make up for the blunders of the prior years, whilst not addressing the current issues. This rightfully annoys us creators, and more broadly the entire community, because we're just seeing them take something we love, and have loved for many years, and run it directly into the ground. There's a lot of good about this game, but it's just so heavily outweighed by the bad constantly. Don't get me wrong, having played Overwatch since 2017, I'm still finding it super fun, but god is this game flawed. I'm gonna explain what I mean in a minute because this is already sounding a bit confusing, but first I'm gonna ask you to subscribe and leave a like on this video, as I want to continue making Overwatch 2 related content that's not only entertaining, but educational too. The very obvious thing to talk about is how much of a mess balancing is and the reasoning for it. I love playing broken heroes as much as the next person, but it gets to a point where it gets boring because you're kind of shoehorned into playing that character in order to win, especially on tanks. For example, last season we had a period where D.Va was the must pick because she got a buff that made her practically unkillable without a Zarya, Symmetra or Mei. That period was the absolute worst part of last season because it was just rinse and repeat counter picking, something the game greatly suffers from now that it's 5v5 rather than 6v6. You've got some people saying it's a core part of the gameplay, you need to know how to counterpick, and that's something that I really heavily disagree with. The whole point of a hero shooter with a massive roster is to have variety, not force players into playing a specific set of heroes so that they can potentially deal with one enemy that chose the cheese character. It's boring, repetitive, and quite frankly just flat out cringe. I can't believe they nerfed Winston too, and just when I thought this was gonna be his season. The next thing I want to talk about is the lack of content or anything specific to drive players to keep playing. To a lot of the players, comp feels super dry right now because it's repetitive, and in the case of most streamers, they've already peaked. So there really isn't any reason for them to keep playing outside of getting comp points and stuff like that to truly quote unquote complete the game by collecting everything. It's even gone to the point now where events are getting boring because they're so infrequent, and when they do eventually come back, it's recycled stuff with barely any rewards for playing the recycled stuff. Think back to last season when we had summer games. It was the same two game modes with the only rewards being XP and a few player icons. They didn't even give us an old summer game skin as a reward because that's how money hungry they are. God forbid they give their community something from 7 years ago for free that, oh wait, you can get for free anyway just by playing the game and earning enough credits. This is what I mean by there is no drive. I know later this season they're adding a thing literally called drive to keep people playing comp, which is great, but it'll only work for so long before we want something more. Maybe something like comp skins that change slightly depending on your rank, like Fortnite would be a cool addition. Oh wait, they don't have the people to make skins because of the layoffs. Okay, never mind then. The last thing I want to talk about is the community as a whole, the good, the bad, and the downright awful. Obviously you've got the good eggs and the bad eggs, but for some reason I see a lot more bad eggs than good eggs. Obviously this is the vocal minority, just like how the My Hero fandom is considered one of the worst because the cringy fans make their existence very, very well known. Because, I don't know, they need the attention, I guess. My point is that daily, and I do mean daily, I run into at least one racist and, not all, but and one homophobic or transphobic person, which is hilarious because this game is so diverse in both ethnicity and sexual orientation. It's even more hilarious when you consider people are getting suspended for saying the simplest things like a few swear words, even though the game contains a bunch of swear words. Just Google what Cassidy's Banff belt buckle means. Obviously it's our job as a community to call it out and report toxic players, but we shouldn't have to. It should just be a part of the game's coding that if you say a really bad no-no word, it's an instant ban. It's that simple. But that's about it for this video. So, just to clarify, no, your favourite creators don't hate the game, even though they talk a lot of smack about it. It comes out of a place of love for this game and genuinely wanting to see it improve. We hate parts of this game, but that's because we can see that Blizzard are doing the absolute bare minimum, putting little to no effort into making the game better. They don't even listen to us half of the time. How long have we been saying that D.Va needs a nerf? How long have we been saying that the Anubis skin should be for Ramattra? Exactly, they're just so out of touch that it takes us as an entire community to tell them how to make their game. Not how to make their game better, but flat out how to make their game, period. Anyways, thanks for watching. Once again, I'm gonna ask you to like this video as it lets me know that you find these videos not only to be helpful, but entertaining. I just kind of felt like rambling in this one because I'm running out of ideas in all fairness. There's only so much you can talk about with this game, especially since we're now at that point of the season where we're just waiting. Waiting for the anniversary event, waiting for the drive. You know, it's a long one. Finally, have a nice day or night if you're watching this at night, and make sure to check out my other videos. Not only will I appreciate it, but you might too.